Hello and welcome to CNC World, broadcasting from North America and around the globe. I'm Xie He in Washington. Joining me today in our studio is Mr. Bill Jones, Washington Bureau Chief for Executive Intelligence Review. Mr. Jones, welcome to our program.
Happy to be here.
Thank you. The 19th meeting of the Academicians of the Chinese Academy of Sciences and the 14th meeting of the Academicians of the Chinese Academy of Engineering is being held in the Chinese capital, Beijing. China has just entered into a new era. So what do you think is the significance of developing science and technology in this new era?
It's absolutely central. We've been living in a period of great economic trials. The economic crisis of 2008, which followed the 1997 crisis, is far from over. And most of the countries of the world, in the developing sector and in the developed sector as well, are facing major problems that can only be resolved through making breakthroughs in science and technology, increasing productivity, and moving forward in that respect. I think the new era will be characterized more by countries moving towards rapid rates of economic development based on the development of science and technology, and that China, because of its own role, because of its own size, because of the effort it's putting into this, will be playing a central role in bringing mankind into what I would call a new paradigm, a paradigm that is characterized by improvement of the conditions of life of the peoples of the world. It will also be characterized by growing development in sectors of the world now which are characterized by poverty and misery. And I think that this will become, what China has done will then become a paradigm for other countries to move in the same direction. So it's really historic in its breadth.
So with more capacity comes with more responsibilities, right? So what kind of responsibilities do you think China is shouldering?
Well, it's a responsibility for maintaining peace and security in the world, maintaining good relations between the countries of the world. China's idea of a new type of major power relationship perhaps will lead us to a point where the competitive aspect of national sovereignty is diminished and the cooperative aspect of working between nations will be increased. I think this is the goal that China has set forward. There's a lot of opposition to this because countries aren't used to that. Competition, geopolitics, as they call it, has been the norm. And I think what China is trying to do is to change that norm, to bring it to a focus on the common aims of mankind, so that all the countries could both contribute and benefit from resolving the problems that are facing us. And in that new era, China is going to be playing a greater role as a major power, without a doubt. And I think that given the attitude that they have, it will be a situation in which other countries will begin to more easily work with that fact.
So President Xi's concept of this common community of a common destiny for mankind is in line with China's consistent advocacy of multilateralism. So what do you think, how will that help China to enhance its independent innovation capacity?
Well, I think it will be moving forward with the capabilities that they have, the scientific cadre that will be increasing. That's going to be a tremendous force in developing the technological powers of China, and so that will continue. But I think there's also an orientation that it will be done in the sense of cooperating with other countries and also trying to help them understand lessons learned by China in this period of development. China has a lot to contribute, and it's not only its economic development, but also in that long period of philosophical thought that characterizes Chinese thought and makes itself felt today, going all the way back to Confucius and Mencius. These are ideas that are probably less well known in the rest of the world, and I think they would be beneficial in nourishing a new attitude in other countries as they become more well known. And as China moves forward, that philosophy, that mode of thought will also become more prevalent among other thinkers and countries.
So moving forward, looking ahead, what do you think are the challenges that China will face in its science and technology development?
Well, I think the challenges are obviously numerous. There are many problems that we're facing. I think internally, China is on the right road. The speech by President Xi, I think, laid out very clear markers of where China wanted to go. I think what is important, however, is this other aspect of the openness to other countries, because although China has made tremendous progress, there is also an accumulated amount of knowledge in other countries, in both Europe and the United States, through the years of activity, which could be very beneficial in accelerating the pace of development in China, so that this openness in science and technology, inviting foreign scientists to come to China to work together, as is being done, I understand, in the area of the gravitational wave work that's going on in China, that there are many Americans from the high energy physics who are doing some work there. This is going to become very important. It helps, one, establish trust between the scientific elites, which also creates bonds of trust between the countries as well. And secondly, it will also benefit China because it will make accessible a lot of the accumulated knowledge that has been done on the other side of the Pacific or the Atlantic, to move forward in this realm. And I think it will also spur on other countries which have been somewhat lackadaisical in their push for scientific development to also move forward and to try and keep pace with a country that's very much moving forward.